Hello, I'm Archie Luxury, and welcome to the Archie Luxury program, fuckers. Hello, fuckers. And today, I'm doing a paid review. And this one here, I gotta tell you, when you pay for a review, you gotta let me know what your request is. I mean, this guy's paid with the PayPal instant payment, so I don't know what fucking email address he's got there, and I don't know which one to attach it to. I get swamped with cunts who want free advice every fucking day of the week. Not that I respond to them, and I can't find the fucking thing to patch it up. So if you're gonna pay by instant PayPal, you gotta tell me, you gotta fucking link the email addresses up, otherwise I wouldn't have a fucking clue. Okay, let's look at this here. Hi Arch, I greatly enjoy you. Oh, remember to like, subscribe, and tell your circle jerking friends about my channel. Remember, look in the description for 10 ways you can keep me full-time on YouTube. Okay, this guy sent me $30 US. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I greatly enjoy your reviews. Please only use my first name. I am an attorney in my 50s, and I've been collecting watches for 6 years. My current collection consists of Omega Speedmaster Professional with the Halcyon glass and solid caseback. Yes. Rolex Submariner 14060, yes. Rolex GMT2 16710 Pepsi, yes. Rolex Date 8 118239 white gold President, very nice. And a Jaeger-LeCoultre Grand Reverso calendar. My approach to collecting is to collect only iconic pieces and not compromise in the selection based on price. Although once I select a certain watch, I'll always try to purchase it used if possible. The watch must be the best of its type, for instance, the No Date Sub as my dive watch, so that I will not feel the need to upgrade in the future. I can also see, but I was going to put a smart ass comment in, let's just ignore that. I also would like to have a balanced collection with each new purchase taking into account my current collection but adding something new. For example, a new complication or function. The watches that I currently have an interest in are the IWC Portuguese 5454 manual wind, Vacher and Constantine Patrimony Power Reserve 47200 or Retrograde 47245, Patek Philippe Calatrava 5196, the Audemars Piguet 15202, that's the Royal Oak. Finally, what do you think of purchasing any combination of the above in favor of saving towards something like a Patek 3940 perpetual calendar? Your advice will always be appreciated, John. Thanks, John. And, okay, John. So John sent a little bit more, $30 US. That's great. Thank you so much for the extra tip there. John, it's glad to see you got a really nice, those 5 pieces. I got to tell you, that's a fucking nice collection. Speedmaster, hey, I'm wearing one myself. You got the No Date Sub, you got the GMT, you got a President, and you've got a Reverso Grand Calendar, which is fucking nice. That's a beautiful watch. Yeah, I can see you followed the Archie's advice in what you do there. That's great. Fantastic. I think, yeah, the balanced collection, that's nice. Okay, you're asking my advice. What do I think you have an interest in? Look, I think a lot of those watches there, man, the best thing you've done is Rolex and Sports Omega. Rolex and Sports Omega, you can't go wrong. There's a great video on YouTube, Time Machines. And they're talking to Tom Bolt, the watch dealer. And he goes, Patek and Rolex. Rolex and Patek, you never go wrong. And I got to tell you, these other watches here, I think IWCs are overrated and overpriced. Vacheron, I love the Patrimony, but they're very hard to shift. Anything in that price point is hard to shift. Even a Patek is hard to sell. But I think always, if you're buying top echelon stuff, go for Patek. Patek or Lange is what I'd be saying. The Audemars Piguet 15202. I got to be honest with you, you know, the 15202, that's considered the modern incarnation of the original 1972 Jumbo. I think it is, yeah, it's a cool watch, but it doesn't have a screw-in crown. It doesn't have a second hand. It's just hour and minute and a date. I mean, fuck. I think the better choice there would be an AP Royal Oak 15300. It's got the screw-in crown, and it's also got the second hand, which it's kind of annoying not having a. I mean, it's good and bad. I mean, my World Time doesn't have a second hand, for example, but I kind of think the AP, the Royal Oak, it should have a second hand. You know, it just needs it. Okay, that's my opinion. So I think, look, I honestly think you're the Patek 5196. That's a great watch. That's a wonderful watch. Manual wind, mechanical, beautiful piece. I can't fault that. I think with the AP, go for a 15300. That's the best of both worlds, because the 15202, you're paying a lot of wanker factor, a lot of fucking bullshit moron. You know, people think that is the. It's an AP, for fuck's sake. It's an AP. They're going to fuck you over when you service it. It's not a nice experience. The IWC, yeah, they're okay. The Vacheron, I tend to stay away from Vacheron. I think they're owned by fucking Richemont, you know. I know Jaeger-LeCoultre is also owned by Richemont, but fuck. I think you're much better off. If you've got a small compact collection, get a Patek. Why you'd want to go for something like a Vacheron? Look, these are money in the bank. Rolex and Sports Omega, Steel Sports Omega. You can't go wrong with that. So I think you're going to get a rude awakening if you go for something like a Patrimony. They're a great watch. Don't get me wrong. I love a lot of Vacheron's offering, but I think for a normal person, you want one fuck off watch, go Patek, go Patek, go Patek. If you don't want to go Patek, go Lange. Okay? These obscure brands like Vacheron, AP. Well, AP is sort of a different genre. I tend to stay away from AP. But it's even like a Breguet. You can get a nice Breguet. They're very nice, but you're better off getting a Patek. See, the problem is the 5196, because you're going to be paying relative to new prices. And all these other ones, you're going to be paying relatively new price. These are not like 20-year-old watches. You know, these are fairly recent. So you're going to be paying high, and they haven't depreciated yet. So buying a Vacheron, look, I got to tell you, you look at what happens to these watches 20, 30 years down the track. And I can tell you, I remember a few years ago, I could have bought a beautiful Vacheron perpetual calendar, okay, and it was fucking cheap, about $10,000 US, okay, perpetual calendar Vacheron Constantine 36 mil, and you know it's every bit as good as a Patek 3940, but it was cheaper than my annual calendar by Patek, and it's because it needs a fucking expensive service. Well, Patek would need a perpetual calendar would need a fucking expensive service too, but it's a Vacheron. It's not a Patek. So if you're going to go into crazy money, and yes, you can pay a lot to service a Patek. Yes, that's possibly not cheap either. I'd rather do it with a Patek than with a Vacheron or an AP. I mean, you look at some of the second-hand prices there for complicated APs, and what you find is that complicated APs can be the same price as a three-hand AP, and that's because they are so fucking expensive to service. So, yes, it's a relative bargain, but it's like buying a second-hand S600 Mercedes or a BMW with the V12, the 760iL. Yes, it's great bang per buck, but fuck! You wait till you service the bastard. Fuck me dead, fuck me dead. It'll rip you another asshole very quickly. And that's how it is with some of these prestige watches there. So my advice, you've got a small compact collection, forget Vacheron, forget AP, stick with a Patek. Patek is the easiest of those ones to sell. If you don't want a Patek, you want to go for something a little bit different, I'd probably go Lange. Lange doesn't hold its value as good as Patek, but they're more saleable than an AP or a fucking Vacheron. I mean, some of the APs, if you get a non-Royal Oak AP, they are fucking next to impossible to shift. You can't give that fucking shit away. It's fucking nasty. I don't know why. It's a great watch. AP makes some amazing stuff, but my advice to you would be, in your collection there, I'd be getting a Calatrava 5196. You're asking me, instead of purchasing any combination of above, and saving for a 3940, I think you'd enjoy a 5196 more than a 3940. The 5196 is bigger, it's manual wind, it's usable. A 3940 is automatic, very expensive servicing. Gonna buy one second hand. I reckon you'd probably enjoy a 5196 better than a 3940. 3940 is a great watch. Philippe Stern had one for many years. I think he's still got it. He's handed over the reins to Terry Stern, and his personal watch was a 3940. I love the 3940. That's a wonderful watch. I'd sort of say to you, I'd probably get a 5196 first, I think, and then later on buy a 3940 if you really want it. They are a magic watch. I think they're underrated. I think they're very good buying. I was talking to another collector friend of mine. He said about the 30 US mark, you can get a 3940. I think they're a great watch. They're a little bit small. That's hence the reason I think they're a little undervalued. But they are Patek Philippe, true and true. I think it's a great watch. I think 3940 is a magnificent watch. Be prepared to service it. It's quite a exy sort of thing to do there. But I reckon in your case, get the 5196 and build up slowly. Part of the fun of collecting these things is having them enjoyment and that there. I think as a first Patek, 5196 is a great watch. Then, even if you sell the 5196 to buy the 3940 perpetual calendar, it's a great thing. The other thing is, instead of going for a 3940, that's using the 240 base movement with the micro rotor, maybe get something like a world time. That's between the two. That's another great way of looking at it. But I'd probably say to you too, when you get your 5196, I always buy on what is it a good deal or not. I don't really go on is it white metal. I see you've got a white. These are steel watches, and you've got a steel watches and a white gold day date. It'd be nice to have this next piece in rose or yellow gold. Just a suggestion. But again, depends on. I normally buy what is great bang per buck. So thank you so much. Great collection there. Thank you for that little bit extra. Really nice collection. It's good to see you loving your watches. I prefer a smaller compact collection than someone who's just rich and buys whatever the fuck they want. But well done. Archie Luxury signing out. Tell me what you fuckers think of that.
We specialize here in pre-owned Rolex watches. Rolex watch is a very special timepiece, and we always do the servicing exactly as factory specifications. We buy a pre-owned piece and we put it into brand new condition. We have Rolex certified technicians working on that. We completely disassemble the piece. We adjust and polish and change every single part of the watch.
You have to have certified watchmakers that know what they're doing. If you have an expensive car, you're just not going to bring it to any mechanic that doesn't know what they're doing.
You spend $5,000, it's like if you put money in the safe deposit box. And 1 or 2 years from now, you will keep having your $5,000. We have to spend a lot of money to get all this equipment together, but makes me feel I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It's not a question of money, it's my passion.
Jewelers on time, simply the best.